You've been counting down to retirement for years. You've got the money figured out, the budget's done, you're ready. But what if I told you the hardest part of retirement has nothing to do with money? My neighbor Paul found that out the hard way. He retired last January, worked as a project manager for 32 years, had everything planned, the savings, the budget, the timeline, all of it. I ran into him at the grocery store 3 months into retirement, middle of a Tuesday afternoon. I said, "Hey, how's retirement treating you?" He just looked at me. "Honestly, I'm kind of freaking out." "What do you mean? You've got the money, right?" "Yeah, the money's fine. It's not that. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I'd feel free. Instead, I feel lost." 6 months later, Paul's fine. Actually, he's great. But those first few months, rough. And nobody warned him it would be like that. So today, we're talking about what nobody tells you about the first year of retirement. Not the financial part, the other stuff. The stuff that catches people completely off guard. Because if you're not ready for it, the first year can be rough, even if you did everything right with the money. Here's what everyone talks about before you retire. Do you have enough saved? When should you take Social Security? What's your budget? All financial questions, all important. But here's what nobody talks about. What are you going to do on Tuesday morning at 9:30? How are you going to feel when your identity isn't your job title anymore? What happens when your work friends stop calling? These aren't money problems, they're life problems, and they hit you in the first year, hard. I've talked to at least a dozen people in my neighborhood who've retired in the last 5 years, and almost all of them said the same thing. The first 6 months were way harder than I expected. Not financially, emotionally, psychologically. Let me walk you through what actually happens in that first year, because if you know it's coming, you can prepare for it. First thing that hits you, who are you if you're not your job? Paul was a project manager. That was his answer for 32 years when someone asked, "What do you do?" Now he doesn't have an answer. He's at a party. Someone asks, "So what do you do?" "I'm retired." "Oh, what did you do?" "I was a project manager." Past tense, was. It's a gut punch every time. Here's what people don't realize. Your job isn't just how you make money. It's how you define yourself. It's your identity. I'm a teacher. I'm a nurse. I'm an electrician. That's not just a job description. It's who you are. And when you retire, that's gone. You're not a project manager anymore. You're just Paul. And for the first few months, Paul had no idea what that meant. He wasn't contributing. He wasn't solving problems. He wasn't needed. And that feeling, not being needed, is brutal. Paul told me, "I felt useless, like I was just taking up space." This is really common, especially for people whose whole identity was wrapped up in their career. Here's how you deal with it. You build a new identity on purpose. Paul started volunteering at Habitat for Humanity, building houses, using his project management skills in a different context. Now when someone asks what he does, he says, "I volunteer with Habitat. We're building a house over on Maple Street." It's not a job, but it's an identity. It's purpose. You need that, especially in the first year. If you retire without a plan for, what am I going to be now, you're going to struggle. Second thing, you have no structure, and that's terrifying. For 30, 40 years, your day had a structure. You woke up at a certain time, you went to work, you had meetings, deadlines, lunch breaks. Even if you hated your job, it gave your day shape. Retirement? No structure at all. You wake up, and then what? Paul said the first few weeks felt like a Saturday, exciting, relaxing. By week 3, every day felt like a Sunday afternoon, that restless feeling of, I should be doing something, but I don't know what. By month 2, he was waking up at 10 a.m., staying in his pajamas until noon, watching TV he didn't care about, just killing time. He said, "I felt like I was wasting my life, but I didn't know what else to do." Here's the problem. Humans need structure. We need routine. Without it, we drift. We get depressed. And retirement strips away all the structure you had. Here's how you fix it. You create your own structure, intentionally. Paul eventually built himself a schedule. Wake up at 7 a.m. every day, even though he doesn't have to. Coffee and read the news until 8. Work out or walk from 8 to 9. Hobby time from 9 to 11. He's learning woodworking. Lunch at noon. Volunteer work or errands in the afternoon. Dinner at 6. Relax in the evening. It's not rigid, but it's a framework. It gives the day shape, and he feels better. Here's the key. You can't just wing it in retirement. You need a plan for your days, even if it's flexible. Otherwise, you'll drift, and drifting feels terrible. Third thing, you lose your social network fast. When you're working, you see people every day, coworkers, clients, whoever. You don't even think about it. It's just built into the job. But when you retire, that's gone. Paul had work friends, people he ate lunch with, joked around with, collaborated with for years. First month of retirement, they'd text him, "How's retirement? We miss you." Second month, the texts slowed down. By month 3, nothing. They weren't being mean, they just moved on. They're still at work, they're busy. They've got new projects, new people filling Paul's role. Paul's not part of that world anymore. And suddenly he's sitting at home, alone. His wife's still working, his kids live in other states, his work friends aren't calling. He told me, "I went from talking to 20 people a day to talking to nobody. Some days my wife was the only person I spoke to." This is one of the biggest shocks of retirement. You don't realize how much of your social life was built around work until it's gone. Here's how you fix it. You have to actively build a new social network. Paul joined the local woodworking club, meets every Thursday evening. He started playing pickleball at the community center, Tuesdays and Saturdays. He reconnected with a couple of old friends from high school who also retired. It took effort. He had to put himself out there, but now he's got a social calendar again. Here's the truth. Retirement can be lonely if you don't plan for it. You need friends. You need people to talk to. You need social interaction. If your plan is just, "I'll hang out at home," you're going to be miserable by month 3. Build a social plan before you retire. Fourth thing, even if you have enough money, you'll worry about it constantly. Paul ran the numbers. He's got enough. His financial advisor confirmed it. He's fine. But every time he checks his account and sees the balance go down instead of up, he panics. For 40 years, his account balance went up, every paycheck, up, up, up. Now, it only goes down. He's spending his savings. That's the plan. That's what it's for. But psychologically, it's terrifying. He said, "I wake up at 2 a.m. wondering if I calculated wrong. What if I lived in 95? What if the market crashes? What if I run out?" This is super common. Even people with $1 million saved feel this way because you're no longer earning, you're only spending. And that's a mental shift that takes time to adjust to. Here's how you manage it. 1, have a withdrawal plan, not just "I'll pull money when I need it." Paul set up automatic transfers, $3,200 a month from his savings to his checking account every month, like a paycheck. That way, he's not constantly deciding, should I pull money, how much? It's automatic, it's planned, it reduces the anxiety. 2, don't check your accounts every day. Paul was checking his investment account twice a day, watching it fluctuate, making himself crazy. His advisor told him, check it once a quarter, that's it. He does that now, and he feels way better. The point, the psychological shift from saving to spending is hard. Give yourself time to adjust, and set up systems that reduce the daily anxiety. Fifth thing, if you're married, you're gonna get on each other's nerves. Paul's wife is still working. She works from home 3 days a week. Before Paul retired, those were her quiet work days. She'd work in the office, take calls, focus. Now, Paul's home, all the time. He's wandering in, asking what's for lunch. He's vacuuming while she's on a call. He's trying to chat when she's trying to work. She finally snapped at him. "I need space. You're hovering." Paul was hurt. "I'm just trying to spend time with you." She said, "I know, but I'm working. You need to find something to do." This happens a lot. You retire, your spouse is still working or has their own routine, and suddenly you're in their space all the time. Or both of you retire at the same time and you're together 24/7, and you're not used to that. You love each other, but you're used to having space during the day. Now, there's no space, and it's an adjustment. Here's how you fix it. Have a conversation, early. Talk about expectations. Talk about space. Talk about routines. Paul and his wife set boundaries. When she's working, he doesn't interrupt unless it's urgent. He goes to another part of the house. He finds his own activities. They also set aside intentional time together. Dinner every night, a walk on weekends, but they're not together every second of the day, and that's okay. Retirement changes your relationship dynamic. Talk about it. Plan for it. Otherwise, you're gonna drive each other crazy.
Here's the thing that ties all of this together. The first year of retirement is an adjustment period, a big one. You're adjusting to a new identity, a new schedule, a new social network, a new relationship with money, and a new dynamic at home. That's a lot of change all at once. And change is hard, even when it's good change. Paul said, "I thought retirement would feel like vacation." It didn't. It felt like I'd been laid off and I didn't know what to do with myself. But by month 6, things clicked. He had his routine, he had his volunteer work, he had his hobbies, he had his social calendar. And now, a year and a half in, he loves it. But those first 6 months? Rough. Here's what I wish someone had told Paul. It's normal. The first year is hard for almost everyone. You're not doing it wrong, you're not broken, you're just adjusting. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, and have a plan. Don't just wing it. Look, retirement is amazing, it really is. But the first year, it's a transition, and transitions are uncomfortable. If you're about to retire, here's what you need to do before your last day. 1, figure out your new identity. What are you going to be? Not just what you're going to do, but who you're going to be. Volunteer, hobbyist, mentor? Figure it out now. 2, build a daily routine, even a loose one. Structure your days so you're not just drifting. 3, plan your social life. Find clubs, groups, activities. You need people. Don't wait until you're lonely to figure this out. 4, set up a financial system that reduces anxiety. Automatic withdrawals, quarterly check-ins, not daily panic checks. 5, talk to your spouse or partner about expectations. Set boundaries. Make a plan for space and time together. And if you're already retired and you're struggling, you're not alone. The first year is hard, but it gets better. Give yourself 6 months to a year to adjust, and be intentional about building the life you want. Because retirement isn't just about having enough money, it's about having enough purpose, structure, and connection. The money gets you there, but the other stuff keeps you happy. All right, that's it from the porch today. Next time, we're talking about why you should retire at 55, even if you planned for 62. There's a math reason and a life reason. Both matter. See you then.